As we go into May 2025, we'll notice that things like hope and constantly looking into the future are no longer working. In the past, we've created an identity that constantly knows and creates a fake sense of certainty that their future is locked and loaded, or uses hope as an escape from difficult times in the moment. And at one level of consciousness, that was something that was really helpful. But as we keep moving forward, we're accessing a level of love that wants to remove the trauma that hope was helping you escape from. Last night on my Absolutely Everything Pass membership site, someone asked a question about why they feel so hopeless and they're feeling more and more depressed in this time. And the rift that came through might be something that can help you surrender your addiction to hope so you can move into the now and truly transcend the lies that are in your body. Enjoy this talk. Check this out. Tess says, I'm struggling very deeply with not wanting to be alive the last 6 days, and I've never felt this strongly before. Okay, first thing I want to offer you, Tess, I want to offer you to please trust me on this. It's a pattern that doesn't want to be alive. I want you to hear this. And the reason it's getting louder is because it's coming off. It feels like it's not. It feels like it's louder. It feels like it's this crazy thing. It feels like it's the truth. But I want you to know it's a pattern, and we got to become really present and almost hold a space of openness, compassion, deep listening. Now, I want you to think about how much distracting yourself would be painful to it. A pattern is trying to be heard. You're almost going to find out where it's coming from and what it wants you to know and what it wants to release. This is a great time to not get drunk. This is a great time to not flip through too much screen. This is a great time to not overeat. This is a great time to not come up with a fix. All we need to do is listen to it right now, right? It says, I have never felt this way, this strongly before. I have extensive trauma, emotional, sexual abuse, told I was an alien. I was born into a cult, escaped 12 years ago at age 20, and I have been in treatment for it. I've always been so very hopeful, a hopeful person, no matter how dark things got, and I'm just not feeling that anymore. Great. Just so you know, it says, I'm feeling so hopeless. I want you to hear something. Hope has been your ego's escape that only comes with the hidden trauma. Hope is not the highest frequency at all. It's an escape. And at one point, it's better than just feeling a victim mentality. But I want you to know the low of the trauma comes with hope as the escape of it. And hope is not the highest. The now is. So hope is a mental escape that you have to not look at the trauma. And now hope is not working, so it's making you look at the trauma. And it's making you look from a now, not a everything will be better, which is really the way of shutting the trauma up, right? Like if Vivi says to me, I don't feel good, and I say, you'll feel better later, am I listening to her? If she says I don't feel good, and I say, well, it'll be fine later, and I only say that, am I listening to her? Or am I making her wrong? Am I making what she feels unheard? And am I just countering it with some positivity that is just kind of shutting up the pain? What she needs is me to go, tell me about it. What's here, hun? What's here? And we notice hope, yeah, hope is a higher vibration than just fear with never hope. But right now, I just want you to know what hurts needs to be heard. And Tess, I don't know if it needs to be heard internally or if it needs to be heard externally. Ask your soul. Should I talk to a therapist about this? Should I get help? Should I call a hotline? Should I go inward? Should I meditate? Only you know. If it's really bad, we got to do something to make sure you don't hurt yourself. But the one that doesn't want to live is not you. I want you to really take that in. It's the one that's been muting the story of the trauma that's ready to come to light because you have access to you've accessed a frequency that's higher than hope can handle. You've access, like hope exists within you, right? So this is really, really big. Hope exists within you. All of this exists within you. So there's a voice in there that's hurting and it has a big history that I hear and wants to be seen. But I want you to know something bigger, Tess. What's coming up is big, but it's not as big as what you are, but it's bigger than hope now. You understand what I'm saying? It's louder than hope can handle, but it's not bigger than what you are. So what needs to happen is presence, is hearing, is patience, and emerging in the now. How beautiful. The universe is no longer allowing the escape of hope to block and repress the pain that God is ready to look at through you and be present with and listen to and hear what it's saying. I feel unloved, but that's not you. I feel abused. That's not you. I was told I was an alien. I'm told I'm different. I'm told I'm not enough. That's not you. So I want to offer you a deep presence that is more profound and more true you and more your essence and more powerful than the voice that says, the second I have some pain come up, I counterbalance it with hope. The second I have some pain, oh, I was off hope. Well, everything's going to be amazing. In fact, you'll notice, you might not know this, but the driver of hope is that pain coming up. It's almost like what makes hope show up? The pain. Because why would we need an escape unless we had pain? Right? So here we are, this pain is coming up, and we've had this pattern of a mental fantasy as an escape to not feel it. And no matter what, imagine if Vivi feels off and the first thing I do is go, well, one day we'll go to Disneyland. So feel the hope about that. That'll be exciting, and ignore what's here. That to me is a nice thing at one frequency, but it's a total ignoring at another. And people do this to themselves. They'll start to say, I feel off, but I know everything will be okay later. Dude, you just shut yourself up with your optimism. I feel unseen, but I know one day it'll be healed. I see, dude, no wonder we get depressed. And that's why a lot of people that we lose and get depressed have a big fake smile over their face because they're in an optimism that's numbing what's inside. Because we've learned happy, no matter what, is better than the truth. And I want you to know something different. Hearing the truth will eventually make you fulfilled and a happiness that's so much better than instant fake happy that shuts up the pain will ever do. Instead of just trying to be happy, find the truth. What's here? And a great way to do that is you sit and say, what do you feel? Not decide what it feels. This is another thing past self-help does. It starts to come up and you have a you that tells it what it feels. You feel this, or you're feeling this, or you, like I'll have clients tell me what it's feeling is this. What it's feeling is this. I'm like, why don't we ask it? Why don't we ask it? What it's feeling is this, is not as good as what are you feeling? And for the first time, Tess, the little girl that's been through a lot of abuse will feel heard by you. So Tess, if you ask the pain in the body, the trauma that's coming up, and don't numb it with hope, what are you feeling? What's here? Tess, feel free to ask it and write in the chat, what's it say? I feel what? And everyone can take a second. It says, I feel devastated and deeply sad. So Tess, imagine if the habit is to go, but everything will be fine, versus tell me more to the pattern. And bring a space of unconditional love, because devastated, deeply sad, feeling abused has never been loved. It's been escaped with hope. You get what I'm saying? We hold a space and we say, you're allowed to feel devastated and deeply sad in my body, because guess what? It never knew that. It has been shut up by hope, because the hope was the highest we had. But today, and we celebrate hope for being here, but I want to bring a space of love, a gratitude to hope, but a new listening. Life is getting you to listen deeper. You're allowed to feel abused, devastated, and sad. And Tess, when you say that, as you're here, what happens? What do you feel? Like it's asking us to feel. A new frequency is birthing. You cannot escape with false happiness anymore. We can't escape healing. You can't escape your healing, everybody. Tess, what are you feeling right now? What's she feeling? What's the pattern saying? What's it doing right now? And here, Layla, we love you exactly as you are. You're a miracle. We love you even depressed. We love you sad. We love you devastated. Yeah, you can't escape your healing. It says, I've been feeling deeply for many years. Now, that is not what's here right now. Exhausted is a feeling, but I want you to know another way the spiritual world escapes is saying, I've been doing this for years. If Vivi says, I feel sad, and I say, you felt sad for years, I'm shaming her. So this happened so that the universe can show you your pattern of escapism through shame. That's not hearing what's here. That's shaming what's here. We've been through you before. We've been through this so many times. It's just, but tired and exhausted is true. So what happens if we take time away because time doesn't exist anyway, and instead say, it feels tired. It feels exhausted. Of course it is. Every time it comes up, we go to hope. We bring a big high hope. It's almost like cocaine without the cocaine. You're doing some high as an escape from here. Tess says, I feel so traumatized. What if, now take out still, because that's time, right? Tess wrote still, but that's time. So now there's shame involved. Take time out. You're allowed to feel traumatized in my body. I can see why the patterns are struggling to get out. There's a major mental shame going past and future. I still feel traumatized. I'm not over it. There's some pressure that you should be done with this. Remember, if you're alive, there's more. But we have to allow it to feel traumatized. To the pattern, you're allowed to feel traumatized in my body. Hear that. But you don't need still, because it's, if I say to Vivi, you're still sad, there's shame in that. We don't need time. It's talking now. It doesn't know time. Shame knows time. We should be over this by now. Very shamey sentence. And if you guys if any of you watching this say sentences like, how much more is this? I should be over this by now. I want you to notice that pain and that trauma and that shame that comes up in order to not heal. That's the ego's escape from your healing. The ego brings in time because it's so scared of the power of you actually hearing it. So you bring shame in and go, oh, here we go. We never are over this. How long does it, right? Jen says, so when does sitting with it turn into unhelpful rumination? Only when you're ruminating. Sitting and listening can go forever and heal forever. Sitting and ruminating is a mental escape. But eventually you won't be able to, because you can ruminate all you want. But if you're not filling it with external and you know, the screen and all those other things, it can't ruminate forever. You'll just be tired of it. But all of us are in a rumination pattern, but we just hold presence for it. So Tess, what shows up for you right now? If you're allowed to feel traumatized in my body, what's here? What's here after that? Right? We're here for you. You're more powerful than hope. I'm just so exhausted. You're allowed to be exhausted in my body. Say that to the pattern. Because you're not, the pattern is. The pattern that has been repressing itself is exhausted. Totally understandable. Anger, that's a step up. You're allowed to feel angry in my body, right? There's an anger in your body. Do you know that anger is a much more powerful, and scared is even higher, believe it or not. Scared has vulnerability to it, right? So I want you to hear anger loved is hurt. Hurt loved is vulnerability, and vulnerability goes, I'm scared. Now we're vulnerable. You're allowed to be scared in my body. You realize what it's scared of, right? It's scared of you seeing it. The number one thing fear is scared of is you seeing it. That's the only thing it's scared of. Because when you see it, it'll die, because it's not based on truth anyway. Fear does everything it can to keep you distracted from looking at it. It goes, look at that problem over there. Look what this politician said. Look what they said on Instagram. Look what's going on. Or it keeps you distracted by look over at this food, look over at this addiction, look over at that person who for approval, so that you don't look at it, because when you look at it, it heals. Right? So scared is scared of you because that's how powerful you are. And the scared will dissolve through your seeing it. This is why the power of sitting with it is so big. Are you with me right now? You are the space that it's scared of. It's scared of being seen because seeing it heals it. So we just keep listening to it. It's feeling exposed, but exposed is just seen, judged. So you're allowed to feel exposed. And the more it's allowed, the more it's seen. The more it's seen, the more it's free. All fear is unseen energy. That's all fear is. We're sitting here looking at it like it's a real thing, but it has to create diversions and say, no, the fear's outside. Nope, it's inside. You have a box inside you're scared to look at. But I'll tell you something, the box is empty, but you're scared to look at it, so you never see that it's empty. So to you, the box is full of bad guys and pain and more trauma, but it just needs to be seen. But seen will be the death of both the pain and your hope that escapes the pain. We don't want hope. We want calling to show up in the now. See how a hope is an escape? Tess, are you with me right now? You in the now can hear it. You in the now will transcend it. What are you feeling right now, Tess? I'm honored to be with you tonight, and I really appreciate your vulnerable question, and I'm so happy you asked it here. And hopefully we hold a consciousness of the power of what you are, and I'm here to hold the space of the other side of you free. That's what a shaman does. That's what a space holder does. We are here to hold the space when someone else is suffering, not to talk them into escape, not to distract them from escape, just to remind them that everything's okay. Tess says, I have so much PTSD when I sit with the now. It gets so overwhelming, if that makes sense. Yes. Overwhelming to the pattern that can't handle it, but not to you. So I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. And if things get too dark for you, then I'm going to ask you to please contact a suicide hotline because we need you. But I want you to be open to, no matter how dark it is, no matter how big it is, you're bigger than it. No matter how off you feel, it's a pattern that feels off. You're bigger than it. Me in the now is stronger than this pattern. But for many of us, the patterns are coming up so much that our old escapisms, addictions, other things can't handle it. Tess says, I have 4 therapist specialists, just so you know I'm monitored. I hear you. I understand. And I'm sending you so much love. And maybe one of our teammates, Kiri or Maria or Kelly, if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to ask if you could check on Tess tomorrow or the next day, if that's okay with you, Tess, and maybe have that might be, I feel like that's a Kelly job. Kelly, I don't know if that calls to you, but Kelly is the space holder of a lifetime, isn't she? Mm-hmm. So Kelly, I don't know if that calls to you, but would that be okay with you, Kelly, to hold space and hear Tess? Okay, Tess says that'd be nice. Tess, would you say this out loud? I'm worth receiving healing. Maybe the pattern has tricked you into thinking you don't deserve the healing that's trying to happen. Say out loud, I'm worth receiving healing. I'm worth the expansive self, and I'm worth the inner work that will take me to healing. And I am a healable being. And Tess, feel free to ask God, please help me with this, and open your heart. I receive your help. I open my heart to help from a frequency that's bigger than hope, from a frequency that's bigger than escape, from a frequency that has to deal with it. Kelly is a masterful space holder. She's amazing, right? She's one of Amber's best friends. And our team's best friend, and we love her and we need her. So Kelly, if you wouldn't mind, that would be amazing. Let's have you heard. Kelly knows our principles and lives them too, and got to hear the call tonight. So we'll bring some of these in here and bring her own self to this. And Tess, we're gonna get through this. Tess, are you safe? Would you let me know that you're safe? Are you safe? Do we need to be concerned with you, or do we got you? She says, I'm safe. Maybe the hope now can be a presence that's like, I don't know what the hope looks like, but I know that healing's happening. Do you get that, Tess? Like, there's a different hope. Like, I don't know what it looks like, but I know something's happening. I want you to just be like, I don't know what it looks like, but I know something's coming. So you don't have to hope with a specific image of how you'll be out of it one day, but instead just be like, oh, energy's got me, and I'm going to move to a oneness, and I'm going to move to a connection that is so much more powerful than my past story of abuse. I'm opening to something deeper. So Tess says she's safe, everybody. Kelly's going to call Tess tomorrow. Love is happening. Tess, you're worth it. If you have a question or are struggling with something and would like to ask us on the Absolutely Everything Pass, join us.